You're listening to the Who is Christine Anyway podcast, Season 2. Today's extra special guest is Droobie the Marshmallow. Enjoy.
Like, the amount of workload I have right now with what I'm currently doing is like taking up a lot of the time. And I don't know how I could pitch that to the girlfriend to be like, hey, I'm going to, start something else. She's going to be like, shut up. You're not, just stop. I'm like, so I'm trying to like keep it somewhat to the point where I have a normal life outside of it.
You're like running the OnlyFans for marshmallows.
That's actually been a running joke through some friends at work too, where we're like,
like, show us your feet. Welcome to Feet Finder. What's a marshmallow's foot look like?
Marshmallows after dark sort of the content they wanted to put on there. Like,
oh my God. That would be hilarious. But yeah, no, I mean, you could always upload like monthly to Patreon too. Like, branding,
and there's a lot of
like
things
that.
I want to say on it too that I just can't, like the community guidelines between TikTok and Instagram. I'm very limited on like that's why the jokes are somewhat original, because I can't say a lot of the things that I actually want to say. But I don't know if it would be half as funny, because I think I just sound a lot more mean. Like, this way is kind of, it forces me to think of something clever that also hits as hard, that gives you some sort of a visual aspect when I say it.
I guess I kind of like, so for the past like 2-3 months, I've been doing stand-up comedy. Just absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been one of those things where
that scares the absolute shit out of
me. Yeah. It was kind of one of those moments where I'm like, come watch me suck at something new. Like you've seen me suck here. I'm terrible there. Let's go be awful here. And it's been interesting. The community has been really fun, and it's been, you're right, it is absolutely terrifying. And it's like 10 straight minutes of me blithering on. And I'm like, I think the first night I was like, I didn't want to go into politics, guys, but that's what my rib stealing gender does best. And that whole room like looked at me, and I'm like, oh shit, they don't like biblical jokes. Oops. Oh well, anyway, moving on.
You get a different crowd every night. Like, some people know like your joke style and some people don't. Some people got dragged there. The whole idea of that scares the absolute shit out of me. I have so much respect for comedians and people who just go up there and rock it every night. They have like a gift to make people laugh, like in a room that doesn't necessarily laugh at everything.
That's everybody loves Bill Burr. That doesn't go without saying. And it's interesting too, because obviously he's very poignantly voiced about his opinions.
Mm-hmm.
But then like they caught him on a red carpet once, and they're like, what do you think about this? And he goes, why are you asking me about fucking politics? I'm a dancing monkey. Like, I'm just entertaining. Like, what are you doing? So I think there's that really weird blurred line where it's kind of like being the court jester. Like, are you going to get beheaded for making the wrong joke? In which you could be shadow banned because of, God knows in, what topics it would go into. So.
Yeah, every day is like a gamble, I think. And especially when you're trying to like do insult comedy, for example, is what I'm doing. Like, how far is too far? Where's the line? How long does it take before this account gets shut down? And I'm also dealing with the fact that I'm doing it anonymously. So it's very hard to get like those issues dealt with when things happen, because I'm not providing my face. I'm not meta verified. I'm not any of those extra steps that help you get through the problems when they come up.
Do you worry about being anonymous?
Honestly, it's I don't worry about it myself. It's more just for like my family, my work.
Mm-hmm.
I got into kind of a corporate position, and I just have to like kind of show that I'm not like going out of my way to be super political online. I'm making an effort to stay somewhat hidden or anonymous in the opinions. I don't need to be. I feel like it just makes my life a lot easier outside of the whole social media thing.
Yeah, I can see where that would be somewhat problematic in the corporate world. So I think that when I think about those aspects of what you do, I like, you question everybody. It kind of makes like a certain level of paranoia,
Mm-hmm.
I'm also sitting in this country where we are very scared as women. We are scared as, I mean, there's a level of fear amongst every community.
Mm-hmm.
Like whether it be, the LGBTQIA plus, whether it be the, the conservative people with their gun rights, whichever, it doesn't matter what community you are. Everybody has a level of fear. And then being in corporate on top of that, there's a whole level of fear there because, okay, they just lay off people for funsies now.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we're just closing this branch. Hey, we're closing this division. So
yeah,
that's got to be somewhat terrifying for you. I mean, your marshmallows don't really look like anybody.
Yeah.
Less the names.
They can stay. They can. Yeah. The Trump guy doesn't necessarily. We'll just call him Trump backwards or something and say it's a marshmallow. What are you talking about? Are you crazy? They don't even resemble each other.
But at the same time, I mean, that's like kind of saying like Lamb Chop represented every lamb, and therefore PETA was against Lamb Chop the cartoon or Big Bird on Sesame Street. It's it's to make you laugh. It's one of those things.
That's the goal behind it, is just to have like some comedy that was trying to draw some light at the situations that are very, very serious right now. And it just kind of makes it, I've always said, and I tried to say it, actually I had an interview on CBC News a couple days ago.
Oh, congratulations.
She was asking, thank you very much. It's weird because it's like my hometown, and they aired it on their little radio station that they do it on. A couple of friends reached out to me like, was that you? And I'm like, I cannot confirm or deny. But
I need you to sign this NDA before I finish this conversation.
But one of the things I always said, like when they were asking about the comedy and how it connects to politics, and especially with the US, I was like, well, I've always looked at it like a spoonful of sugar helps the fascism go down. And they're like, that's hilarious, but we cannot say this on air. So we're just going to pull that from the whole conversation. But it is true. And I feel like that's kind of what I'm after. Every day you wake up, there's new crazy shit in the news. He's like done something that's like another headline. I feel like just to stay in the headlines, and I try to find a way to make it lighter so that people can be like, okay, that happened, but I laughed while
we're going to be okay at the moment. It's not it's not instantaneous eruption of a volcano that we're all going to die.
No, but you can see it from a distance.
Have you watched The Handmaid's Tale?
I'm in like season 2, I think. I'm definitely not caught up.
My guy, I'm like a dedicated fan.
Are you? Yeah.
Like I'm
my girlfriend's big into it. She's waiting on me to watch the last season, and I keep getting shit because I haven't actually finished season 2 yet.
Get your ass in motion. Like it's so good. But yeah, no, she makes a very deliberate speech towards the beginning. She's like, we didn't listen when they overthrew Congress. We didn't listen. We didn't think it was serious when this. And then, of course, when that originally started, like, I think we're on season 6 now. So it was about 7 years ago because we tack in COVID. When it originally started, everyone's like, haha, this is great. And we're all eating popcorn. And now we're like, ha, ha, ha.
It's real.
Like, we're like starting to go, like, what shade of red is our favorite? Like, how about, would I be teal? Like, and now there's, oh yeah. Well, there's outfits, everything. Like, I mean, I told you, I'm like a nutso super fan. Red is for handmaids. Those are women that have 4 children, obviously. Commanders' wives can be in any shade of teal. Commanders wear a tux. Ikana women wear like the green. The little girls wear pink until they are becoming in wives' school. Then they wear plum. And then once they wear plum, they get married off into a teal. And they are married off at like 15 to like 40 or 50 or 60-year-olds. It's very King Henry.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So enjoy that. You should bring a handmade marshmallow on there. Your girlfriend would love it.
Yeah, I feel like that's it's been talked about quite a bit. I'm seeing them at a lot of the protests. A lot of the followers that I've chatted with over the last little while have been making like signs for protests, and there's been a lot of conversation about that. And I've seen through photos of theirs and other people who are sharing it, Handmaid's Tale outfits are literally everywhere. So it must have a pretty good
it's a strong representation. It's a strong correlation, and that's what makes it scary, is that when art imitates life as a whole. Mm-hmm. That is literally the saying that goes along with that. Art imitates life. It will never not imitate life. And when you look at, what you're doing, art, it's imitating life. And it's the thing with defamation too, by the way, is that they would have to prove that it's not true.
Mm-hmm. I'm very careful with that to make sure that at least everything in the skit, or at least the basis behind the skit, and it's also based in fact.
Right. And you may at some point find yourself having to put like a disclaimer at the beginning or at the end that says, I am in no way encouraging you to, be violent to any degree. Not that I think anybody ever looks at a marshmallow and goes, fuck yeah. But then again, I watched the news today. I'm like going, who knows? Marshmallow might be president next time. I'd vote for you.
Yeah, I mean, I try to like disassociate as much as possible. Like they're literal marshmallows. The
Mm-hmm.
scenes, I like they're crappy on purpose. Like the backgrounds and the props and stuff that go into it, they're all just kind of thrown together, and then I'll put like a funny saying on it. Like it's supposed to be crappy, and I feel like that's kind of the charm of it. I've had
It
like animators reach out and be like, "Hey, we can like animate the mouths. We can like." I'm like, honestly, I think we're good, man. I think if I changed it, people would get
leave
kind of
it.
mad. Yeah.
Leave it. I think that it does open a door for you to potentially doing voice acting.
Mm,
I also think that it kind of opens a door for you to create this as a actual long. I mean, South Park has been doing stuff similar
yeah,
for however long. Even The Simpsons has.
yeah.
When
They're
you think about it,
one of my
just
favorite shows too.
yeah, just nobody ever took it seriously. They're like, ha ha ha, and then it happened. They're like, wait, what? And
Yeah.
it's they're like, oh no, they're just putting the pieces together. I mean, those people like Miss Cleo, obviously she's dead now, but like the people that were like getting people to call 900 or not 900 numbers. Oh my God, I hope nobody called 900 and got Miss Cleo. But if they were dialing 1-800 numbers to these psychics in the middle of the night, it's like when you go to the fair and they go, I can tell your future. And you're like, okay, tell me. They're like, somebody thinks you're nice. Well, of course somebody thinks somebody's nice
Oh
somewhere.
yeah.
So it's kind of one of those things where they're like, how'd you know I should stay with him? Lucky guess. you know, you can just
I
kind of
remember
put
that
it
one.
together.
That
Yeah.
was the from South Park was I think was like the biggest douche in the universe guy or whatever. Where they had you would just like speak to a crowd of people and be like somebody's grandfather died, and they're like me.
Yes.
Like how did you know that? Like I don't know. I picked the one guy in the room that's like getting up
Most
there. Is your
blanketed
grandpa dead?
statement, most blanketed statement they can come up with, and then they just run with it. So for you, and it's so cute because I look at your little marshmallows, and in like fifth grade, I had to make a board game, and for like Bridge to Terabithia, the book,
Yeah.
which is also dope having banned books again. Fucking hell.
Oh my
Uh,
god. Yeah.
everything but the Bible, kids. Nothing strange going on here. Um, So mine were clay, and I have no business being a sculptor. In fact, if you look at the wallpaper in my office, I have no business doing wallpaper. Like, I probably have no business in a lot of places I go to, but I'm going to at least do it once. But your little marshmallows, like, I was trying to explain it to someone. I'm like, the little Canadian one has the perfect little flannel hat. And he's got like the little woolly ears. And they're like, well, how accurate is that? And I'm like, come out in January. It's pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the most stereotypical thing I could have put him in, I think. Aside from like making him a moose or something like that. I
You
think
need a
that's probably the
Mountie.
best option. Yeah, that's probably true. And I'm actually working on a mini series where I'm trying to think of another Canadian that can go along with him as kind of like a sidekick where they can kind of bang ideas or like insults back and forth off of each other, kind of
A
like a Bob and
goalie, a hockey
yeah.
goalie.
Yeah, we had
You know?
in Canada two legends that were doing content for a long time called Bob and Doug, and I've always thought about
Oh,
those two guys as part of like a skit that would go together. So
yeah.
he needs his own little sidekick or somebody co-star, I guess you could say. And the goal is to kind of make a mini series with different characters and kind of not get away from politics, but
Yeah.
if I want to look at this long term, the whole goal is to make two sorts of styles of content. One that's like current events, politics, and I lean into the news, and then the other side would be something that's just like bullshit from my own brain, where like we have my own adventures where these guys go on, and I can I can do my own writing, I can make my own props, and get a little bit more in depth, and that hopefully would create some longevity where I could go back and forth between the two, and I'd always have something to work on.
So do you obviously, I feel like you're probably one of those people that just keeps a book around and just jots
Oh,
and
it's right
then
beside me
cross.
right now.
Oh, really? There we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, hold on, this chick's onto something. Uh, but I just feel like it's one of those things where it's like you almost have to. It's like musicians, they wake up in the middle of the night and they like sing into their phone. People think
Yeah.
they're nuts, but they're actually just kind of humming a voice note to remember it later. So,
Yep.
I mean, there's got to be some points like it sounds awful. Like I went grocery shopping the other day, which is kind of like, let me refresh my PTSD. And I'm grocery shopping and I'm on the phone and I'm trying to have a business call while I have a direct list of what I'm going for. And as I'm going through the store, I'm noticing the music is getting louder and louder. And I mean like it's pop hits from like the 90s, 2000s. It's the like really I mean, it's obnoxious almost. And I'm like, yo, I can't. Maybe they're trying to get me to forget my list. So I just start buying blindly. I don't know. But I feel inspired to go buy this random product. Probably those subliminal messages. Oh, there we go. We've got it.
There's a bunch of backwards product names throughout the song.
It's like, what did they suggest like a million years ago? That if you play what metal band's album backwards, you were going to get like the words of the devil.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, so somewhere it's like,
I know it.
So it's like, if you play Kesha in the grocery store, you'll buy Italian ice.
That's the whole purpose of Kesha. We just figured it out.
Yeah, I knew it. She's been probably leaving those, what the hell do they call those, Easter eggs everywhere for people to like figure out. I'm like, I've got it. Yeah. It's Italian ice and it's buy one, get one this week. And what the fuck is wrong with you? Be like, I don't know, but I'm going to go up on stand up stage and fucking ruin this some more.
Keep listening for more of the conversation with Droobie the Marshmallow. Visit www.whoischristineanyway.com for access to all the social media links and additional podcast episodes.